heavy underfoot, though. The ground's not holding up, but look, it's still just going to be an attacking game across the ground here, so you'd expect the players to be in and under. I was just having a chat to Simon Goosey as he was walking back to the box, and he was extremely happy with the spread across the half-back line there, as we indicated during the call, and he's more wrapped with the fact that the players are actually gelling together more today, and there's a confidence coming from each of them and a lot of support towards each other, which is he wants to see more of again.
Well, their ball handling is so much better than Doveton's at the moment. They're handling these conditions really well, Cranbourne.
Half-time score at the Allenbank District Football League. Coral Inn 2-3-15, trailing the Dusties 4-6-30. Jared, as the players break off into position quickly, have you changed your decision with who you think is going to win, and what do you think Doveton can do to get themselves back into the game?
Well, Doveton just have to start using the ball better, and looking again, they're still trying to drill their passes, those slick hard handballs. Now, again, it's not raining anymore, but the ball's still going to be wet. They're just not handling it as well as their hands. I suppose they've got to have sure hands. They've got to get those going, and they can do a lot more, but they've had enough of the play, so it's just use the ball you better. That's all they've got to do.
Very briefly, just had a message left on my answering service from a good friend of ours, Cliff, on the board. He said, good to see that we've made half of the football broadcast tonight.
Score update from the MCG. Oh, Cliffy. Richmond 8-6-54 lead Essendon 4-2-26, and it's the Crows leading the Giants by 18 points at the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. Other winners today in the Sefnal, Berwick by 39. That guy keeps walking past us like a crab. Berwick 39 points, Pakenham won by 92, and Beaconsfield by 99 points. The second half is underway thanks to the Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. Doveton get the clearance. Getting brought to ground about the football there was Aaron Davey, and he'll receive the free kick on centre wing. They're kicking towards the netball end. He's kicked it into the man on the mark. That was Big Hugo. Trying to get the hand pass away with Scott. He gets brought to ground as well. Some strong tackling here by Cranbourne. Pack forms, and just going a little bit awkwardly there was Scott. But the umpire throws it up quickly. Doing the ruck work there was Gabriel. He gets brought to ground. No free kick was paid. Davey tries to jump his way through the tackle. Couldn't do so. He got brought to ground quite heavily there, Davey, and he's very slow to his feet. I think Davey may have injured his ankle at the back of the pack there, Doc.
Yeah, he's getting up very ginger at the moment, KP. No, he's looking to be right, but he's still ginger.
Okay, he's still ginger, but all right. And he goes in again, Davey. His hand pass, though, was cut off nicely there by Roscoe. The intercept goes long. Inside forward, 50 Bowman. Holt does well. Taps it to a dangerous position there for Jones, who overruns the football. Doveton have the numbers now. Can they clear it off? Getting brought to ground there, I think it was Mitchell Pearce. Trent's not happy about something, or he's swatting mosquitoes in the bus.
No, just seeing Jones, his attack on the footy, he just went for the mosquito swipe, and as soon as he ran past it, he just sort of gave up on it.
He did a bit, and there's been a 50-metre penalty here. Roscoe was lining up for a shot on goal. On the mark there was Smith. He has probably said something a little bit unkind.
Probably just asking what that was for, and maybe not in the appropriate manner.
The RAC battery truck's already been brought here, so a quick community announcement and reminder that if you are listening to us, make sure you flick over the battery to keep it running. And that was definitely a disappointing play there by Doveton. This has brought Roscoe into the unmissable position of the goal square, and he has kicked it through. That is Cranbourne's fifth goal in a row in this game under lights here at A.J. Robinson Reserve. They go to 7-3-45 on the back of Roscoe's first goal of the evening to extend their lead out to 21 points, their biggest lead of the night here at the 2-minute mark of the third term, thanks to Cranbourne's sports club called Trios. Down near the race club, get down there and celebrate with a few fruffies after this. Responsible drinking as always. Kane Pollard, Trent Knight, Jared Healy and the Doc down on the boundary. And the big crowd has moved behind Favola. I wonder if the Doc's there yet. But there's about 6 or 7 deep behind the goals watching Big Fev. He needs to get a goal to get the big crowd here up and about.
Massive crowd here in attendance for Indigenous round. Back in the middle, Gabriel couldn't get his hands to the football, so it's just bounced back down. Lindsay had to dive over the top of it. Gabriel got caught in his back. No free kick paid. Pack of players dive over the top of the football, but a clearing handball comes out now towards Cranbourne's players, but they dive over the top of it. Davey couldn't quite get his hands on the footy, has to go and chase it. Does well. Took on 3, rode the tackle, got dragged down without it. No free kick paid. They're pressing forward now are the Eagles. Getting kicked over the top of the football there was Scott. No free kick was paid there. Looked like it might have been an in the back. The umpire's letting the ball go. Diving over the top of the football there. Plenty of numbers for the Eagles, but the umpire says we'll have a bounce.
They're just pushing it forward in numbers, Cranbourne, and the Doveton guys are
They're surging in waves.
Surging in waves, I like that.
So bounced up now, bouncing towards the boundary line, but Battle gets his clear and kick away, only as far as centre half back. On the boundary line now, Thal collects the handball and goes with a short one over the top towards Lindsay. Thumping kick in towards the middle of the ground, and that's a very strong mark taken at centre half back there. Centre half forward. 25 metres out was Thal.
Are you okay, Trent?
I am. I couldn't quite see through the binoculars I've brought with me in the special bus. They've just fogged up. It's time to go.
Nighttime bed reading and a couple of nursery rhymes.
It's time to go to bed.
Horlicks.
It's time to go to bed as Bauer has it, and he's going to have a shot on goal.
Maybe a Bex.
As he comes in from 35 metres out, almost directly in front, and he slotted it. And that's Cranbourne's 6th in a row.
It wasn't Bauer.
No, it wasn't Bauer, because Bauer's just gone in to congratulate him.
I think it was Fletcher.
Yeah, I think it was as well, as he makes his way towards the boundary line as well for a rest to the wing.
I think you need a rest.
So Cranbourne now moved to 8-3-51, leading Doveton 3-6-24. We've gone 5 minutes of play in the third term, thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
Jared, sorry.
So, yeah, I was going to say, this game is quickly slipping away from Doveton now, isn't it?
It is.
They've just stopped.
And the question mark still remains, can Doveton compete with the best in the Sefnal? They've lost to Berwick. They defeated Narry by a point, and they're looking down at a barrel of a loss here. But Doveton get the clearance up towards centre half back. But as Doc mentioned, it's Cranbourne's half back line that's really standing up. They get the ball out there towards Cavlot on centre wing. Under pressure, gets a kick away to Thal, gets a push in the back from Rodriguez, but does well. His second effort was good. By hand to Bauer. Bauer runs away from Rodriguez. He's got players on the outside. Uses Marusik. Goes into the forward line and taking the mark there on the lead. Is that the big Holt train?
Nope.
No. Well, who is it if you're going to say it's not? It might be Jones. Or Roscoe.
Got the binoculars up.
I'll just keep saying players' names until you give me a nod.
Eventually we'll get it right.
Well, Holt's sitting in the goal square.
Looks like it's Sparks. He goes into the pocket on the lead there was Thal. Just covering the required distance there. It was Sparks with the short pass. And Thal's taken it in a better position for goal here, boys. This is a big kick. They have kicked the last 6 unanswered goals in this match to make it 7 and extend the margin out.
Over 30 points. That'll be 33 points if he kicks this.
Yep.
If he kicks too early.
It will be. It's currently 27, so plus 6 is 33. Thal. He looks confident. In he comes. He sets Thal for goal. Looks good off the boot. It's gone straight through the high diddle fiddle. So Thal joins the party here at AJ Robinson Reserve. Some real concerns here for Doveton.
And the Cranbourne guys are all running together, congratulating each other. So they're really up and about. And Doveton, they're going to have to do some quick soul searching now.
Since the 16-minute mark of the second term, Cranbourne have kicked 7 unanswered goals, and they're out to a 33-point lead. Much talk on the boundary coming from Doveton, Doc.
Yeah, I just we're having observing down here that maybe Doveton's helping Cranbourne get their mojo back at the moment.
So back in the middle of the ground now. Thal flies early. Gabriel gets the tap down now to Henry, who kicks it off the ground into the pathway of Battle, who kicks it forward again, but Cranbourne's half-back line rebounded.
That was good play by Bass.
It certainly was, as Jones does well to tap it over the top to himself. Gets the handball out towards the boundary line. Screaming for it into the goal square is Fletcher. But Jones has to go back for it again. Sorry, no, that's Sparks.
Stayed
It
on
gets
his
the
feet.
kick off the ground, but it's gone straight into the goalpost, and the goal umpire had to register for a moment to see if that's what had happened. But it's a behind nonetheless. 9-4-58 Cranbourne, leading Doveton 3-6-24. We've gone 8 minutes of play in the third term.
Breaks their run of goals.
Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
Almost got that
Dangerous kick in by
it was almost
Bowman.
Picked off, wasn't it?
It was. I think it was Ross Gow.
He was just lucky scored the mark and it went over the line. But
He was going full tilt.
you saw that play before. All Doveton's forwards are playing behind their man, expecting the ball to just slip on past the Cranbourne half-back line. But their hands are so good that they're just getting picked off.
Thrown in. Gabriel gets pushed out from underneath it. Battle, caught out position. Cranbourne's forward pressure is really, really strong at the moment, and there's going to be a hold in the ball for a kick against said forward pressure. And the Doves will clear defensive 50.
Doc?
Yeah, I've just seen something of contrast from the two coaches' boxes. Simon Goosey has just come down from his coach's box a couple of minutes ago, and with some really encouraging words for Jones as he come off with. And yet I've just seen Steve O'Brien do exactly the same from the other coach's box and gave Mitch Pearce an absolute spray.
So getting the clearing kick away there was Pearce across half back,
He's getting the rub from Bryce. He's having a good night, the Doc.
but it's gone out of bounds. And
The Saturday night rub.
And we'll see it thrown in on true centre wing. On the outer side of ground here at AJ Robinson Reserve. Thrown in. Gabriel gets the tap down now. Thal goes back for the second effort. Henwood dives over the top of it. Couldn't quite get clean possession of it. And the boundary line's going to beat them both, and we'll see it thrown in.
9 minutes of play gone in this third term. Cranbourne are leading by 34 points. Ball going to get thrown in. Gabriel, Thal, Gabriel. Oh, coming in from the side there, Marusic taps the ball down. Another clearance. That's where they're starting to dominate Cranbourne. They get the ball inside forward 50. Doveton on the outside there. Rodriguez kick. Well, the juggling attempt close to the boundary line. The mark's been paid to Marusic. He plays on. Squares out the pass. The ball, it's Roscoe. The juggling attempt mark's going to be paid. He had two bites at the cherry there, Roscoe. Goes into the pocket. Who do you see? Flying high! Really taking the mark there was a Cranbourne player. That was actually Roscoe who had the fly, so it must have been Grant who got the kick inside forward 50. Out towards the half-forward line. Vella does well, applies a strong tackle. The ball comes out to Glenn Osborne. Hand pass towards Vella. Vella goes back behind to Ryan Davey. There's a player down behind play. It looks like it's Batten for Doveton. And the pack has just gone crash. Mark Holt's taken the mark. He's come up worse for wear. There's players falling down all over the joint. But Mark Holt has will have the mark and shot on goal for goal number 5. Batten is in a world of hurt here.
They've just signalled to the box.
He looks like it's a leg injury, Doc.
Yeah, I think you're right there, KP. He's moving up and down as if he's doing sit-ups in pain, so it does look like a lower leg injury.
Not good at all for young Batten. He's kicked 2 of their 3 goals here this evening. He's a talented footballer as well. Nobody likes to see this. The game has been stopped. Cranbourne, the away side, bring out their stretcher. So both teams will break off into positions now for a chat. Big Hugo's waiting to come back onto the ground. He's going to replace Marusic. Sparks is coming off as well. He's going to be replaced by Cavlot. Doveton now starting to will some changes. Running up and down the boundary line, Tonopoulos. Yes, Trent?
It was great sportsmanship by Roscoe as well to go over and just give Batten a pat on the back as he was getting to his feet. So shows that although you're wearing 2 different coloured jumpers, that sportsmanship still stands in local football.
Well, it's good that they've waved. Sorry, KP. They've waved away the stretcher and he is walking off. He's being assisted, but at least he's walking. So
didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good. So that's a good sign that there's nothing too drastic wrong with his pins.
Oh, he's limping just a bit. So Holt now, with the game resuming, the stretcher's off the ground. Well, not yet. Is now Holt for goal number 5. He's going to kick half of Cranbourne's goal if it goes through. Oh, he's had too long to think about it. Goes across the face. Pack goes up. No one can claim the mark. Doveton's under some pressure and they get pushed back through for a behind. So it's rushed. 9-5-59. The Eagles leading by 35 points. The quick kick in, broadcast side of the ground. They're trying to run it out now, Doveton. The hand pass goes astray. Oh, it's been socked off the ground. The boundary umpire was out of position. He's paid it as a throw in. I thought that was out of bounds on the full. They were appealing for it on the Cranbourne bench. It didn't go that way. Sockering off the ground, I think it may have been Bowman. or Battle. So the ball gets thrown in. Doing the ruck work there was Stahl. But Doveton can get the clearance. Or they've become sloppy, haven't they, Doveton?
Yeah.
They're missing their targets by hand. But they sock it out here to Allen. Can he break that tackle of Bass? No. But he keeps his feet. Gets a hand pass to Simmons. Hurried kick forward for Vola. Slides up. Couldn't complete the mark. It's the first time I've seen Fev for a while. Goes in a second time. Couldn't get it out. Allen's at the bottom of the pack. They dive on top. There's players going in everywhere. Simmons didn't like some of the attention displayed there from Grant. He's gone in pretty hard this evening, Grant. And the ball's going to be thrown up on centre wing. Lindsay and Gabriel. Gabriel goes for a big punch as far as he could kick it. Falls in the lap of Battle. In space. He squares up the shot. They need a mark. Flying into the contest, there was Glenn Osborne. He couldn't complete the mark. He got a drag to the ground and a strong tackle. I think it may have been by Allen.
He's been everywhere for Doveton tonight.
He's electric.
He doesn't give up and he bounces up to his feet straight away.
He's got cat-like reflexes, a little bit like Silverioli. And trying to get it out there, Allen once again, but he couldn't bounce his way out of that tackle.
He
Gang
didn't go
tackle.
down either, did he?
No, that was
on his
gear
feet.
on. Had his in his clutches. The ball gets thrown up. Oh, Gabriel just grabs it out of the ruck and then throws it. The umpire didn't pay the free kick, so Lindsay gets the hand pass out there. That one's going out towards Maurice of Orlando as the Eagles kick the ball up towards centre half forward. Bouncing football. Look at the surge. There's Eagles everywhere. But Hugo gets the hand pass out there towards the Cranbourne player in Fletcher, who sockets it off the ground, trying to find hold. There's a Cranbourne player down behind play in a lot of pain. I think it might be gear on as the Eagles have a shot on goal, but it's gone out of bounds. Was it out of bounds already before the kick was played, Trent?
Yeah, it's going to be thrown in, signalled by the goal umpire down at Cranbourne's end.
It's gear on coming off the ground with a suspected AC joint injury.
Left shoulder, guys, yep.
Left shoulder, thanks, Doc.
They're just waiting for the ball to come back now to be thrown in. 15 metres around from Cranbourne's goal. Well, the story coming into today's game was Brendan Favola, but Mark Holt's shown him how it's done here.
Just an
It's thrown in.
update. Just
Sorry,
an
Doc.
update. Sorry, yeah, just an update on Luke Batten's injury. It's his right ankle. It looks like a sprain at this stage.
So the Rapidtune battery repairs out there doing some hard work this evening.
So thrown
The big
in.
Rapidtune trucks out there helping people whose batteries have gone flat.
Not sure what's wrong with Gearon's shoulder either, but he doesn't want the trainers looking at it, so it might just be dislocated and he's trying to put it back in
Was it a
himself.
stinger?
No, I'm not sure whether it's popped out and he's just trying
Got a
to
bit
put
of
it back in.
cramp.
So it was thrown in. Gabriel got a free kick out of the rucking contest. Tried to play on quickly, but was called back. But a thumping, clearing kick nonetheless. On the outer side there is Henwood, wrapped up in a strong tackle, and the umpire says we'll have a bounce.
Some breaking news in the AFL. There have been flares thrown at the Adelaide Crows GWS game.
Flares.
You think you cop it bad, Trent? They haven't thrown flares at you yet.
No, yet. That was the key word. Thrown up.
We encourage it.
It would be like Mario Kart.
Ball's bouncing towards Doveton's way, but plenty of numbers again with the Eagles.
Flare in the square head.
As Roscoe gets the kick forward, competing on half forward. Players dive over the top of the football and collecting a too high free kick there for the Doves was Timopoulos.
I think Bryce has just broken the chair.
He's making plenty of noise for someone who doesn't get on air too often as Timopoulos as a thumping clearing kick. Hendy couldn't complete the mark. They compete now. Henwood gets the ball in his hands and just goes bang with a thumping kick forward. Pearce has to run out and meet it. Does well. Gets a kind bounce but gets pushed in the back. No free kick was paid. Vella came through the top of it. Handball over the top to Glenn Osborne, who gets a clearing kick out towards the outer side. They're pressing in numbers here, the Eagles. Kick up towards half forward. Numbers everywhere for the Eagles. Where's Holt? He gets caught out of position in the back, but Hugo competes for the mark in the forward pocket, but couldn't quite complete the mark and the ball's gone out of bounds. And I just got hit in the head with flying paper. We've gone 17 minutes of play in the third term. 59 Cranbourne, 24 Doveton. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. Check them out at triosportsclub.com.au.
It's hard to see where Doveton's next goal will come from. Their last goal was at the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. Cranbourne with another clearance. They just punch the ball forward if they can't get their hands on it. Fletcher sees that one go over the boundary line. Big crowds in the pockets here, enjoying a great spectacle, but they want to see something from Vavola.
Well, they've got to get the ball up to him before they can see anything.
Well, look at the press.
You just say he has been starved of opportunities.
Is he even on the ground? Every Cranbourne player's forward of the centre circle at the moment. As Doveton try and work it out around the outside, they couldn't do so. And that kick off the side of the boot goes out of bounds. The Favola is on the ground, Trent. It's okay.
I'm just looking at
Sarah, centre half forward.
He's still working on his shoulder by himself.
Tomopoulos and Michael Henry waiting to come on the ground there for Doveton. So a bit of a delay in the play. Some people really starting to enjoy their night. The stretcher might be used off the ground, not on it. As the Eagles can clear it now through Fella. Has plenty of pace to burn. Squares up the pass. They have a shot on goal from inside forward 50. Won't make the distance. Holt has 2 to beat. Couldn't get his hands up to take the mark. The ball falls down towards B. Hugo. Dancing his way through traffic. Gets brought to ground. Got the hand pass out. Pack forms. Players dive on top of it once again. In the goal square, which is 15 metres out from Cranbourne's attacking end. We'll get to the dock shortly for some updates on the injuries. Pack goes up. There's been a shot on goal, but it's come off hands and has gone through for one behind. So Cranbourne that go to 9-6-60, Trent, leading Doveton 3-6-24. Didn't expect it to be such a rout. There's a quick kick in. Holt,
Picked off
he's dropped the mark.
But he's been held on to.
He was. Got brought to ground there by Davis. He was out of the contest. Players are getting yelled at to come off the ground.
You can see Gearon back up there. He's rotating his shoulder above his head, so he knows what to do with his shoulder now.
So Holt, he's looking for goal number 5. He's looking to make it 8 unanswered goals for the Eagles. 4 players come on, 4 players come off. Plenty of action there for the dock. In comes Holt now from only 30 metres out. Oh, look how happy Holt is. He's really celebrating, getting around his teammates. He has taken on the captaincy role again in season 2016 as he presses towards 1,000 goals in his local football career. Look at all the defenders. They all got around him. They're all running back to their positions. It's turning into a rout. They now lead by 7 goals. Cranbourne 10-6-60, lead Doveton 3-6-24.
Well, Steve O'Brien before the game...
66, I should say. Sorry, Trent.
Was saying that these type of conditions, the midfield will be winning the game, and where is Doveton's midfield?
42 points the margin.
So back in the middle of the ground, Gabriel couldn't get his hands on it. Well, that's kicking in danger there by Marusic, but it wasn't paid. Pack forms over the top of it. Simmons gets wrapped up in a strong tackle. The umpire says we'll have a bounce.
No player around the ball.
All teams start to second-guess themselves if they want to get Favola in as a rapid-fire full forward if he gets held goalless here tonight.
Lindsay tapped down. Marusic got a clear and kick away. Gearon, after coming off the bench, has a snapping shot on goal. Doesn't quite carry the distance. Punched through on the last line of defence there by, it was Rodriguez.
Cars are starting to leave as well.
And it goes through for a behind. 10-7-67 Cranbourne, leading Doveton 3-6-24. We've gone 21 minutes of play here in the third term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. As we just wait for the ball to come back in. It was a short chip kick to Henwood. Back to Rodriguez, who comes straight off the side of his boot and out of bounds on the full. About 25 metres around from goal.
They're just in disarray at the moment, aren't they, Doveton? Don't know where to go.
The cars are leaving.
Bauer kicked it back to centre half forward. Gearon overran it, but had to go back in for the second effort and did well. Wrapped up in a strong tackle. Oh, that was a bit stingy there maybe by the umpire, but Gearon will take his free kick nonetheless for holding the ball. Kicks inside forward 50 to the man on the lead. Sparks takes it on his chest, kicks it into the pocket towards the man himself in Mark Holt, who's got the mark on the impossible angle, 30 metres out, up against the boundary line. This for his 6th goal, if he can put this one through.
When he kicks this one through.
You've heard it here first. KP's put it in the book, and that's not why he should have done that. He's just sprayed it to the left-hand side and threw for a behind.
It just showed before in that contest where Cranbourne earned the free kick for holding the ball, where Doveton continually going to a 2-on-1 in Cranbourne's favour.
Favola's standing by himself at centre half forward with his hands around his face.
I think he's thinking,
I think he was wishing he was still in South Africa.
Why am I here? I'm a celebrity. Get me off this ground.
Yes, exactly right. Nobody wants the football there. Hot potato sort of stuff. But it's Davis. He gets the slap kick forward there for Doveton. Here's a chance. They can build off the half back line. The long kick coming forward there by Lewis. Favola close to the boundary line. The crowd really pick up when he goes
He's
near
got a
it.
free kick.
Brandon Osborne got a punching clearance away from Favola, and that's right in front of the Cranbourne.
Spoiled the hands.
Yep.
Top of the hands.
So Favola now.
Now the umpires want to get into the theatre.
If we go quiet, you can hear the crowd here, I think.
I think that was paid deliberate off Osborne. Had a bit of theatre. Couldn't see the umpire's
Deliberate
decision.
out of bounds.
Yeah, from a marking contest, which was
From the
interesting.
score hill.
Now, he's an adulthood hero of the Dock. Do you want to call this shot in for us, Doc?
Yep, just sitting right behind him here, KP. He's veering to the right, takes it, go a little bit right to left there, and not quite enough, and has just pushed it a little wide of the goalpost, unfortunately, for another
Well, the
point.
ball's still in play. There a chance here, Doveton. Thanks for that, Doc. That's why you're a boundary runner. You gave us nothing. In a chance to really pump that one through, and you've given me the nothing.
I wonder if that was Chris Judd in the crowd calling out Stephen Seagal.
Well, there's been a free kick in there. Rucking
Where's
contest
Bev?
on the way of Doveton. And it'll be Russ Gabriel who'll take the free kick. He was shepherded out of the contest. So Gabriel, something out of nothing. He's got a free kick now from about 10 metres directly in front from the goal square. They haven't kicked a goal since the 25-minute mark of the first term. They haven't scored in this quarter. So
Sorry, mate, go on.
Gabriel, in he comes now. It's a hurried approach, but he's kicked it through. That's their first goal in nearly a half of football. Gabriel kicks his first. And Doveton, they go to 4-6-30. Reduce the margin back to 38 points. We have gone 24 minutes to play, thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
Just while Gabriel was lining up for that goal, it looked like Osborne and Fev were having a bit of a chat, and Fev gave him a tap, probably wondering, I don't know why I got that free kick either.
You wonder what would happen if a Favola just punched someone and knocked out Osborne, for example. Because, no, you wouldn't laugh, Bryce. Because he wouldn't get suspended, would he? Would he get suspended? Would that take effect at him at Deer Park?
No, so he'd be suspended from the league, obviously being a one-off makes it a bit hard. But no, any player that takes the field can be reported and suspended at any game given he's broken the rules of the
Well, this is
game.
obviously special circumstances, so I wonder if the suspension would affect his coaching at Deer Park.
As the ball was bounced
Anyway,
up.
it doesn't really matter. 0429 466 373 if you want to join the party down here at AJ Robinson Reserve. Send us a text or a tweet
Something
at
to ponder.
977 footy.
So Gabriel got the punch down, but there was no clearance, and the ball's bounced again as Gabriel got the tap down again, but Guerin got the clearing kick away. Collecting one high there was Roscoe.
So if that free kick wasn't paid, would have called out, why doesn't he have a bloody head?
He's going to be taking the kick from half forward over the head of Holtz. Going out to meet it at the boundary line was Hendy. Kicks it the broadcast side of the ground, trying to hit his teammate in Bauman. But it sails over the top of his head, and Guerin will be happy to see it over the boundary line, and we'll see it thrown in 55 metres around from Cranbourne's goal.
I thought it was Bowman who had the clearing kick, because I wanted to say we saw them Good Friday, and they're playing their best football off the half-back flank, but their backline's definitely been stripped of any confidence in this game, Jared.
They certainly have. Well, they're just weight of numbers. They can't, every time they look up, there's a blue jumper in front of them.
So Gabriel got the tap down from the throw-in. Thal almost lost his head, but no free kick paid. Running past the football there for the Eagles was Grant, but they chipped the kick forward anyway to Jones, who's got it uncontested. 10 metres out, dribbles one through from the edge of the goal square and says sorry to the RACV van for hitting it on the windshield. But that's his first for the evening. Oh, I've lost my words. Jones first for the evening. Cranbourne 11-8-74, leading Doveton 4-6-30. We've gone 26 and a half minutes of play in the third term.
Not the only thing you haven't lost, Trent.
And just to go on with that of Doveton, every time they come out of the back line seeing blue jumpers, their half back line and even their back line are just pushing right up into the middle of the square, middle of the ground. So every time Doveton look up, Bauman looks up, or anyone from their back line, all they see is Cranbourne.
So it's 44 points the margin at the 27-minute mark of the third term. Gabriel taps it down, but Hugo's there. Cranbourne have got plenty of numbers in every contest. Getting the kick forward that time was Bauer. Bouncing football. Nice work by Grant. The quick hand pass to Guerin. They got the ball inside forward 50, and taking the mark on his chest there was Roscoe. They have lost any sort of presence, haven't they?
It's a
This could
training
be
drill now.
I was about to say that, Jared. This is coming very dangerous now for Doveton. We know they already have a low percentage. They've only kicked the 4 goals in this match. And if Roscoe can kick his second for the quarter, they'll go out to 12 here. Cranbourne. In he comes. Roscoe from only 25 metres out. The ball swings back nicely and goes through. Zach Roscoe's kicked 13 goals for the season. And no more important than that one, as that puts the Eagles back in front by 50 points. 12-8, 80 Cranbourne leading Doveton 4-6-30 at the 28-minute mark of the third term, thanks to our good friends at Trio Sports Club. Jared.
And the disappointing thing for Doveton too, this could have been outright second.
I wonder if
tonight,
anyone's actually listening to the broadcast. They might want to just flick their lights and let us know they want to support Casey Radio. How about a bit of a flick of the light action there for people on the outer side? Oh, no, they're going home. There's one at the back there. Thank you. People flicking their lights.
There's 3 or 4 going off, KP.
Yeah, flash your lights for Casey Radio. We love it. And Rapid Tune in Hallam. Flash your lights. Oh, they're everywhere. We're lighting up AJ Robinson Reserve. There's more action happening outside the ground than Vivola's getting. He dropped another one. It hit him on his chest and bounced away. The lights might blind some play. That bloke went with the high beams. I like it. It's like stiff nipples in the cold weather, the high beams. Now they're trying to clear it out here. Cranbourne. They get it out towards centre wing. The mark was dropped. The numbers are Doveton are under some pressure. The hand pass back to Gabriel. Thanks for flashing your lights. We love your support. The kick inside forward 50. Off hands. No one can mark. Going back with the flight of the football there was Morris. Little dribbler kick to Valor. The numbers here of the Eagles. They clear it broadcast side of the ground. A bad kick there for Grant. Has to backtrack. Look at the pace of Ryan Davey. Where's Aaron Davey when you need him? Davis tries a tackle on Davey. Gets a hand pass out, but Hugo gets bumped off it. Cavlot goes in, collects the football. He gets bumped off it though. Going back in there was Fletcher. He gets the hand pass. It was actually Hugo getting the hand pass to Davey. He goes short to Vella. He'll need to stand up under some pressure there, Vella. Taps it to himself. Oh, he does very well, Anthony Vella. Could that have been the goal of the night? No, he lets himself down. Does all the hard things right, Vella. Just lets himself down in the execution. The margin's out to 51 points at the nearly 30-minute mark of the third quarter.
But that was, you saw the Doveton player, had to battle 3 of them, but he actually went for Davey then and knocked the ball himself, so he overran the ball, and then they were able to clear it away easy and have a shot on goal.
Doc?
Now, I think you're going to love this, KP. In defence of Fev, because it's coming from me, I think I've seen about 4 or 5 times tonight the delivery into the forward line. He has had to go to ground and dive for the mark almost every single time.
And the umpires aren't helping him too.
Getting a bit
He's being
protective
scragged
there
a
of
bit.
your mate.
It's just a delivery from the midfielders.
Whoa.
High beams, big high beams.
Jeez.
So
that just took somebody out there on centre wing.
After the kicking from Rodriguez went out of bounds, Gabriel got the
Allen,
tap down.
he's running too
Allen's
fast to the
taking a
ball.
bounce on centre half forward, but he's bounced it back over his shoulder. He's only a little fella. Maybe touch it on the ground next time. As the pack of players dive over the top of it, Morris applies a strong tackle.
telling
And we'll see
everyone
a
how to
ball up
play.
at centre half forward.
Telling the fullbacks not to kick out over the line or you get red carded.
No,
I'm
that's
still blinded by that big...
Alan, don't bounce the ball, you're not good enough.
no, I didn't say that. As Thale gets the tap down, but the Doves press forward and taking the mark on his chest there.
Pass
was
it to
Scott.
Fev. Pass it to Fev.
Fev's
He's turned
standing,
his back on Fev.
Fev's standing 10 metres away, so
He's just turned his back on him.
the mark
Batten's probably
wouldn't be
thinking,
paid
why the hell
anyway.
are we paying Fev?
As Scott's going to go, but no, it is Batten. He's come back on the ground.
Don't question KP.
As he's come back on the ground, and he's going to have a shot on goal for his third of the night.
He only had 3 kicks.
And they've all been true. As the three-quarter time siren goes, Batten comes in, it goes to the right, doesn't swing back enough, and he's hit the post. 4-7-31. Trailing Cranbourne 12-9, 81. 50-point margin at three-quarter time, that quarter going for 31 minutes.
Now, we've had a correction, which doesn't surprise me. Frank of Cranbourne, our good friend, says that if Favola was found guilty of striking, he couldn't play any game until the suspension was served. He sent a follow-up text message saying that he was surprised the doc didn't know that. Frank, don't be surprised. It was Trent who said that, and Trent never gets anything right.
No, but he was more meaning the doc
Doc
not
should
knowing
have
it because
jumped
he's an
in.
umpire.
But that's right, because I think Favola couldn't play the first game or the second game because he had a suspension carried over from his time with the Pigeons.
So three-quarter time here at AJ Robinson Reserve. We thank the crowd for their interaction during that third quarter by flashing the lights. We saw 6-1 in favour of Cranbourne in that quarter. Roscoe kicked 2, singles to Fletcher, Thale, Holt and Jones. Holt has 5. The rest all singles for Cranbourne. Fella, Sparks, Roscoe has 2 singles to Sparks, Fletcher, Thal and Jones. And for Doveton, Gabriel, the only goal kicker in that third quarter. He joins Batten 2 and Hendy with 1. The Doc is making his way out.
His good friend Goose.
Going out to the Goose to listen to him at 3/4 time and getting a question in from our good friend Tim from Narre Warren. He's questioning where are some of the Doveton superstars that haven't had much of the football tonight. Jared, that's a question directed towards you.
Well, yeah, I know exactly what he says. They're so-called superstars. Well, to admit, Davey, when he did his ankle early in the third quarter, he hasn't been sighted since, so he might be carrying that or he might even be off the ground. We haven't seen much of him. The only real Doveton player that's been consistent is young Allen, even though, as Trent said, he can't bounce the ball and he shouldn't bounce the ball. He's the only one who wants to go in hard, but the rest of them...
I think Allen's won league best and fairest, and Trent had to quit because he dislocated his shoulder, we found out last week. His shoulder went pop when he was doing something he shouldn't have been. What all naughty young boys do. His shoulder went
basketball.
pop. Yeah.
Went up.
Yeah, went pop.
Popping the ball in. But, so they've been very, very quiet, the Doveton players. They're playing from behind. They're not running in numbers. So, Tim, you're correct. They're big-name players and nowhere to be found.
One thing that we haven't raised since we were away last week, and Trent, I'm absolutely disgusted you didn't do this and put Doc under this as we go to the huddle.
No,
you did not shower last week. The whole weekend we were away, you didn't shower. By the way, here's the third-quarter time huddle.
Hey, boys. Good centre bounce. Good centre bounce. Hey, as we said, either half the contest, they got out a couple. All right, that first one where Davey was on and then we changed things up where, you know, if Davey's coming, we know he's coming around the left. So the winger's got to sweep in and make sure we meet him, all right? On 6-0 round the ground, really good. 14 inside 50s for 7, 3-2. Now, the only thing, bit critical of that last stoppage there where we, end of the quarter, we weren't manned up, you know, man on man inside their forward 50. We had Gavin Bell half and half, where someone had to go to it. Boys, we've got to concentrate fully, 100% of the time. No one take their eye off the pill. What we want to do. Hey, boys, the thing that we're playing back our brand of football, where we're creating opportunities through hard running, and we're playing for each other. Now,
it's hard work.
Hey, we let ourselves down for the last 2 weeks, right? This is, we make them pay in this last quarter. For what we did 2 weeks ago, and the way how flat we played, I know we're up and about when we're working hard for each other. We got numbers at the pill. We're getting excited about what we're doing. All right? No exception this last quarter. We go out, and one thing we pride ourselves on is we want to be the best defensive side. Best defensive side. So we drive each other. The standards that we accept, we drive each other. For the full quarter, every minute, we drive each other right throughout. Right back, make sure we're tight. Hey, the way we're setting up in front and that, bang, off. The options, the run from behind, all those things that we've been doing. We drive each other. No one takes their eye off the pill at one stage, all right? We 100% of the time. That's all we ask for. Here we go. We play for each other. Do yourself proud. Come on, boys. Here we go.
Oh, no, I thought he was going.
Now, where's the Doc? Is he going to circle and try and grab Simon? Someone's giving him some feedback. So the Doc's going in there. Some AFL score updates. Looks like it's pretty close to half-time. The Crows leading the Giants by 2 points. And at the MCG, the Dreamtime game there sees the Tigers 11-8-74, leading the Bombers 6-38. The exodus of the crowd continues here. There's looks like cars doing Chapel Street laps the way they're going out there in these wet conditions. We thank Cam from Rapid Auto, who's been a part of the broadcast here this evening. Still a massive crowd here. Vavola's getting some photos with the crowd, which is great to see. The Doc will be lining up for one if he can.
Thanks, KP. Yeah, got Simon here with me. You must be really wrapped with the troops. That speech said it all then.
Yeah, look, really proud of the way we went about it. As I said 2 weeks ago, the Berwick thing was a thing we had to happen. You like it to happen now and not at the end of the year, and we addressed a few problems. As I said, you know, at the end of last year, we did everything right, but we failed at that last hurdle. So important to address these little things and get those chinks out of our armour now.
And it was great to see a smile on all the faces, and the boys then really encouraging each other as well then too. They can see they've got their mojo and they're up and about.
Yeah, look, as I said, we've been playing pretty flat footy, like though we were winning at the start, and we've just been, not up and about, and it was probably a real kick up the backside the last 2 weeks. So our attitude's a lot better. Our attitude on the track's been tremendous. So.
Thanks very much, Simon. Awesome.
No worries.
Yeah, and Davey's actually gone into Doveton's forward line, so I'd say he's still carrying that
I've just noted,
again.
I think the reason why Vavola didn't train on Thursday is because he's not 100% fit.
Yeah,
he has some high bandages up on his quad, and I don't think he is moving 100% fit at the moment, Vavola. He did actually signal to someone in the crowd there that he could have had a groin complaint, so maybe Favola's been a little bit under the weather here this evening.
Oh, nice tap he got there to Partha Davey, though, Favola.
As the ball's pushed forward for the Doves, Gabriel got the tap out now, and the Doves got the first clearance, but Cranbourne's half-back line has been tremendous all night. They're fighting hard to be able to rebound it.
They're like ants, aren't they? They just come from everywhere.
Yeah.
And when they've got the football, they make the most of it. Getting the handball over the top there was it was Bertrand, who tried getting the 1-2, but didn't happen. Long kick up forward. Getting pushed out of it was Sparks. Doveton get a couple of quick handballs out, and they're away. Getting the handball received was Battle, who kicks up the line, getting his head ripped off on the outer side, and collecting the free kick there was Davis, who takes his kick, long kick up towards the 50, and they take a contested mark again. Here comes Vavola. Where is he? He couldn't quite make the contest, but gets a nice bounce. Tackled, dragged down to the ground, and the umpire's going to pay him a 2-eye free kick and not holding the football against our man Fev, or Doc's man Fev, and he'll line up for his first goal of the evening.
Well, the Fev squad have decided not to even bother to go down there for the last quarter. They've all stayed up at the beer tents. Too far to walk back down there if you're not going to fire a shot.
So from 55 metres out, Brendan Favola for his first of the evening as he makes his approach. The fans came out to see him shine, and he's just kicked that one as an up and under. Hendy couldn't quite make the contest. Flying from the back was Bowman. Chance here for the Doves if they can get their hands back on the football, but Cranbourne's defence is fighting hard. Pack forms over the top of the football 20 metres out, and the umpire says we'll have a bounce.
Well, with that kick from Fev, you could be right. There could be something wrong with his leg, because he's usually consistently kicks from 70, no problem. They go through halfway up the goalpost, so from about 45, not to even make the distance.
So bounced up now, and Cranbourne are going to get the clearance. Running too far, free kick paid against Max Guerin. Probably a little bit stingy there by the umpire, but it paid nonetheless.
Have you ever met an umpire who isn't stingy, Trent?
No, yeah, the Doc's not that stingy. He's pretty free-flowing with his game.
Thanks, Dish.
But, I just talked you up and you came back with Dish as Davey slots his first for the afternoon. The evening, sorry.
A few other four-letter words that start with D as well, so I'd be happy with just Dish.
As Davey comes in for his first, Doveton move to 5-7-37, trailing Cranbourne 12-9-81. We've got 3 minutes of play here in the final term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. Check them out at triosportsclub.com.au. Quick shout out to Darren Knight, who's listening at home.
G'day, Dazza. By the way, speaking of this, Trent, Doc,
Yes, Bryce.
can you confirm or deny something for me?
I would try my hardest.
Last weekend on the way home,
Oh, no.
down the Hume, what was the smell like in your car?
Where's this going, Bryce?
You know exactly where it's going.
Well, it's very inappropriate. This is going to video, these comments, Bryce.
It was my fluffy fabric softener I use as a air freshener in the car.
So 5 minutes of the play is
And
gone.
it's been pushed forward. We're just listening to the footy show produced by Bryson Doc in the background as Big Hugo collects it on the wing, goes with a long thumping kick in towards Holt. He's got to run to the contest, couldn't quite make it. Possibly getting held onto behind the ball was Rodriguez, and the ball's gone out of bounds. We'll see it thrown in 35 metres around from Cranbourne's goal.
And Doveton have also pushed Bowman forward, so they're putting all their eggs in one basket in their forward line now, but they've still got that issue of getting it to them.
That's right, Jared. It's been a night that hasn't gone to plan at all for Doveton, you could say. But to get the ball up towards centre wing, there's a line of Eagles. Letting it bounce off his foot there, though, was disappointing by Osborne. Doveton continued to move the ball forward. It's a long kick inside forward 50. While playing from behind there was Brandon Osborne. Lucky not to give away the free kick. The umpire says play on. Pack forms.
They've jumped all over the top of Fev there, haven't they?
Was that Fev at the bottom of the pack?
Yep.
And he is very slow to his feet. Bowman's now gone deep into the forward line. Throw up. Lindsay gets bumped off it. Goes back in a second time. Barrows in. Couldn't get the ball out. And we're going to see the ball thrown up. 40 metres directly in front of their goal. Coralin have come back and beaten the Dusties by 2 points down there at Coralin. 48-46. So the conditions in the Farmers League pretty difficult under lights there Saturday night at the Asparagus Farm in Coralin. Pack forms once again.
We've got headlights over there. We can't see.
I think they've just taken the flash of lights for Casey Radio a bit too far, that white car.
It's just left it on.
We just can't see anything now. Oh, they're leaving. Don't turn your high beams on there, white car. You'll blind everybody. Gabriel. Oh, there's more flashing of the lights in the back pocket. The white cars turned their lights off, so they've had enough of Casey Radio. We'll just call the lights here in the last quarter. And, they're all flashing. Thank you. And where's the ball? I'm blinded by the light. They're on centre wing. Vella has it. The Eagles continue to push. Vella goes into the pocket, looking for and finding. Is that Roscoe? He's playing great footy. More lights flashing. The kick goes looking for Holt. Up it goes one hand. Rodriguez was there. Affects the spoil at ground level. The Eagles have the numbers. Trying to break through there. And he's been penalised. I think it was Grant.
Yeah, he was.
Or was it be Hugo?
Did a 360 in the tackle and get rid of the ball.
So broadcast side of the ground come the Doves. On the strong lead there was Bauman, chased down by Vella. Did Vella not to fall to his feet. Came up with the football and handball over the top. Gets a quick handball but held without it there. And applying the tackle was Morrison. Lucky not to give away the free kick. Vella for the second attempt goes back and gets dragged into the ground after he got the handball away. No free kick was paid. Running onto the ball was Grant, who kicks around the body but held up. It was more of an up and under kick, but it's gone through for a behind nonetheless.
Hugo is limping off the ground just in front of us here, boys. Doesn't look to be too good. It's an ankle injury.
I think he got it stood on.
It's his left. Fletcher comes on.
Cranbourne moves to 12-10-82, leading up to 5-7-37. We've got 7 minutes of play in the final term, thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
He's a tough little nugget, Big Hugo.
As the Doves clear defensive 50 now, but Vella's fighting for it, close to the boundary line. Batten held him without the football, but the umpire was blindsided by it. And he says we'll have a bounce in front of the social club here at AJ Robinson Reserve.
There is some really sore bodies and tired bodies out there. These conditions are starting to take its toll on the players, Doc.
Yeah, Tamumpoulos has just come off with a ankle injury as well too.
Going hard, close to Doc there on the boundary. The kick, though, gets forward there by Doveton. Running under it was Hendy. Coming through, Glenn Osborne. Breaks a tackle.
Too easy.
Hand pass to Vella. There was something happening off the play. I think Bertrand got slung to the ground. And Glenn Osborne will take the free kick. So just forward of the defensive halfback. Goes short. Oh, that wasn't 15 metres, umpire, but they'll pay it. Lindsay swings around. Goes looking for his teammate there, but Bowman does well to cut it off. He got in front of Cavlop. Brought the ball to ground, but it's still going in the favour of Cranbourne. Going in there, getting the hand pass forward. Was that Bertrand? There's players in the way at ground level. Pack forms at centre half forward. And at the bottom of the pack there for Doveton was Jamison. Better get a score update. We've seen 1 point in this quarter and a goal to Doveton. They're 5-7-37 trailing Cranbourne 12-10-82.
As the shot on goal comes from Marusik from the middle of the ground at centre forward, and it just rolls through for a behind. So Cranbourne moved to 12-11-83, leading Doveton 5-7-37, 8.5 gone in the final term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. Check them out at triosportsclub.com.au as Max Guerin takes the mark, defensive mark on the 50-metre arc, probably kicking from the 50. Perfect reverse angle here on the special bus on centre wing.
And that's Doveton's problem. They had a kick out from fullback and still kicked to a 3-on-1 contest and couldn't get it out. And now Gueron's lining up for a shot on Cranbourne. There's just too much pressure. They're still running in numbers, which would please Goose. But the kick has barely registered. No, it's out in the full.
That's probably the worst kick he will ever have in his life was Max Guerin, as he's kicked it 20 metres out of bounds on the full. And now
sack
the
him?
Doves will rebound. No, maybe not sack him, but certainly
Yellow card?
have a word to him about his performance
Ooh,
with
a word.
that kick.
A
but
word.
Doveton will rebound through
Gee.
Jamison.
Do you and Goose have coaching meetings?
Oh, probably. I think we should, actually. Flying high from the back of the pack was Bowman, but he couldn't bring down the mark. Bauer gets a clear and kick away, but goes no further than Davey.
It's Allen.
Oh, sorry, it is Allen. Across half
Look at him
back,
bouncing
takes it and
around.
goes, but moves maybe 3 metres away from the mark.
tapped the ball.
Diving onto the top of it there and couldn't quite complete the mark there was Henwood. And happy to see it out of bounds was Bauer. And we'll see it thrown in right in front of the social club here at AJ Robinson Reserve. A fantastic turnout, not only for Brendan Favola, who's been disappointing today, but in support of Indigenous round here in the Cefnal.
Well, that was just typical of how Doveton have played tonight. Henwood just waited for that ball to come to him and it got picked off by Giron. And
Every
caused
time
the
they've
ball
gone
in.
near the football since the first quarter, Doveton, there's been 3 Cranbourne
Ooh.
players there, and Giron's just gone through and put a bump on Bat, and now they're going to remonstrate.
He actually swung the arm, KP.
Oh, Hendy's gone through and actually taken out one of the trainers. Can you believe it? This has just burst into something very ugly.
I think they've...
Oh, that is terrible by Ryan Hendy.
I think
He's come through from, be quiet, Jared, he's come through from 40 metres away.
Mark Holt's coming in now too.
Yeah,
Here we
after
go.
Hendy,
The
this is
train's
gonna
coming
just
through.
blow up. Quiet, please, Doc. Gabriel's in there. People are coming from everywhere. Holt wants to have a go at Hendy. Stay in the van, please, Bryce. They're close to the crowd there, Doc. You're right there. Be careful, please. Lindsay's gone in. There is still Patton down behind play. The trainer is okay. I said there'd be fireworks, and it just erupted here at AJ Robinson Reserve. Gabriel is trying to have a go at somebody running around. It's Mark Holt he's trying to have a go with, but the play, a 50-metre penalty has been awarded there. So that is Smith. He goes long inside forward, 50 going back with the flight of the football. Bowman didn't want to be in the contest. Cranbourne have the numbers. Running around like a man possessed is Hendy. Getting the kick out of trouble though was Glenn Osborne. What did you see there, Doc?
Yeah, no, Mark Holt came from about 50 metres away and he had one intention and one intention only was to take out as many players in his way through to take out Hendy as much as possible. And he didn't throw any punches, but he certainly scruffed him up as hard as he could get away with.
We've got someone flashing their lights on centre wing. Hello, my friend. Good evening. It could be Glenn. There's a couple of Glens in the crowd then because there's lights everywhere.
Yeah, when you can. When you can. Ash.
Who's calling? Me? Trent?
Sorry, I wasn't
Swear.
tapped in. KP as Gabriel goes up. Got a bit of fight in him now after maybe having to put up with a bit of cheek from the mark train as the ball rolls out
It's
of
the Holt
bounds.
train.
Mark train.
Oh, see, that's why you don't tap me in. As Mark Holt's given Gabriel
That is
a
just
new life.
Cranbourne 101. Mark Holt train.
And it's gone out of bounds 35 metres around from Doveton's goal. Thrown in. Gabriel with a double-handed tap down into the path of Simmons, who gets a handball out.
Oh, watch out.
Davy's got to go in for it.
Well, Fletcher's coming off the ground just in front of us here, favouring his shoulder as well.
Roo couldn't quite get the clearing
Oh, he's
handball
not good
away.
at all.
And it was bounced up. Henwood gets tackled by Davey.
Keep
And
your eye on that, please, Jared.
Yep.
the umpire says that ball's going nowhere and we'll have a bounce. 12 and a half minutes gone here in the final term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne.
I'm just glad that trainer's okay.
Gabriel tapped down. Jones gets a handball out to Osborne. Handball over the top now to Dixon. Collects it, lowers the eyes and kicks towards the boundary line. Thal's got to beat it, but the boundary line beats them both. And the ball's going to be thrown in.
Another injury. They're going down like flies here, Cranbourne. Fella comes on for Bertrand. Well, I think Grant might be just cramping up there. Hasn't played a lot of senior football this year, Grant.
Ball gets thrown in. Gabriel, he would have won about 90% of the tap-outs tonight. Cavalot ends up with the football, gets tackled,
Whoa.
slung without it, but he got the handball away nonetheless. Vella collects a free kick, maybe for downfield. No, the ball's going to be called
was
back
that
to
for,
Cavalot
Pump?
for the sling
Yeah,
after
it was the
getting rid of the
sling.
ball. And he's going to steady and kick it backwards, only just 15 metres to his teammate there in Lindsay, who's going to go backwards once again. This is close as Fev's gotten to the football in 15 minutes.
He can hardly move, Fev.
But Sparks has it in defensive 50. Short chip kick back to Lindsay.
He's nearly being a liability to being on the field.
He kicks it up forward to Marusik and takes the mark on his chest. Kicks it out wide. Davey looked to be the option, but Fisher takes the mark. running handball through the middle of the ground. This is where they're best, Cranbourne. Dixon collects the mark in the middle of the ground, goes out wide. Davey has it on the half-forward flank, kicks into the pocket looking for Holt. Kicks it over the top of his head, and the boundary line doesn't quite beat them both. Coming through there was Allen, across half-back. Kicks it up towards half-forward, but the boundary line's going to beat everyone, and we'll see it thrown in on half-forward flank for the Doves.
For the
Eagles, sorry.
A quick cheerio to Mel and Jody as well, who's tuning into the broadcast this evening, enjoying the fireworks here on 97.7 FM. I wonder if this game was played at Pakenham, would there be some extra activities happening in the car park tonight? And it goes Cranbourne with numbers once again. They have a shot on goal. It's gone all the way, but over the back of Mark Holt's head and through for a behind. We know what sort of shenanigans they get up to at Pakenham on a Saturday night.
Maybe a few flares, guys.
No, more than flares going off at Pakenham on a Saturday night. Don't worry about that, Doc. I know you miss it in the office.
Fireworks.
Going to get down to Pakenham. 12-12-84 Cranbourne leading Doveton 5-7-37.
As it's brought back in on the outer side of the ground, Rahu caught out of position.
Rahu.
He's got to go in and collect the football.
KP's had enough.
The pack forms, the sting of the game's gone out of it for KP.
No, the way you say Rahu just really irritates me for some reason.
How would you like me to pronounce it? As the ball's been rolled out of bounds and it's going to be thrown in, how would you like me to pronounce it? It took 7 blokes to convince you to call him Marusik. As the ball was thrown in.
Don't touch me.
And it's rolled back towards the boundary line. And now the Doves kick forward.
15, love.
Up to half forward now. That's going to get pinned for too far.
Game's over.
Bauman kicks in towards Favola, who is pushed in the back umpire.
Come on, get in the theatre.
He hasn't had a goal all day, and you're going to derive him of a free kick. Is Cranbourne clear defensive 50 now, but it's going to come back through Battle. Kicks into the pocket. Favola flies. Couldn't quite bring down the mark, but he stands up, plays on, has a shot on goal and misses.
There's somebody asking if we've been smoking some of that fungus that was being blown around earlier in the day. That's a massive tow truck. Hopefully it doesn't run over somebody.
5-8-38 Doveton. 12-12-84 Cranbourne. 16 and a half gone in the final term.
Harsh.
Thanks to Truro Sports Club in Cranbourne.
To get him out of here.
You could have put him in the forward line, would have got the same output. It would have probably been a cheaper option.
Free kick's gone to Doveton. I think it might have been out of bounds on the full after the kick in.
Give it to Fev.
But it's going to have a shot on goal. It looks like it's Bauman on the pocket, who has the shot on goal, carries across the face and through for another behind. Doveton now 5-9-39, leading Cranbourne 12-12-84. We've gone 17 minutes of play here in the final term.
And Fletcher's back on his feet, so his shoulder must be fine.
I'll just have to... Doc, was the first behind paid out of the two, or was it called back for a free kick?
No, it was paid, and as you said, on the kick out.
So kicked in now. Cranbourne have it up towards half back. Morris takes the mark on his chest. Handball to Jones. Touches it on the ground. And just runs along the boundary line looking for Holt. Far away from home. But spills out the back and he kicks it off the ground. It was a clever little kick up towards Roscoe, who has to take on one and gets tackled but gets rid of the football. Has to go after it again. Getting the clearing kick was Scott for the Doves. Out to the outer side now. Running out with it there was Battle. Gets his kick over the top, but Gearin intercepted mark. Looks like it might have volleyed, but he was given the mark nonetheless. Gets a handball away. They're just running in numbers, Cranbourne, as they kick to the pocket. Holt couldn't quite get to the contest, and Rodriguez is happy to see it out of bounds, and we'll see it thrown in 15 metres around from Cranbourne's goal. 18 minutes gone.
Skittering out to nothing.
Yeah, but even that turnover from Doveton then, like, it was just a nice, simple chip kick into the centre where player's on his own, and he's just tried to drill it, and it's gone straight to Gearin. It's just they're not helping each other out at all.
So the ball gets thrown in right in front of the scoreboard. Hack kick out there by the Doveton defence all the way out towards centre wing. Bauman gets onto the football and puts it in the space there for Hendy. Coming up to meet it though is Morris. Collects it before Hendy. Gets his hand pass away. They've got the numbers if they can work it here, Cranbourne. It's Sparks doing it himself. That was actually Cavlott. Went back by hand. Fiddling around with it a little bit here, Cranbourne. You do that when you're in front by 45 points like they are. So they've had 5 possessions and they've kept the ball on that outer side. Short kick up towards centre wing where Bowman reads it best. Takes the mark. Doveton get moving once again. Long kick forward. Favola has 3 to beat. Takes the front position. Chop of the arms. High shot. Nothing was paid. But then Favola gets thumped to the ground pretty heavily. And it's going to be the free kick going. No, it's not to Fev. It's to Batten, who handballs the ball to Fev. Fev goes with a torpedo from 60 metres out. It doesn't quite get there in distance at all. And the Eagles will clear it now towards the outer side. Doing some good work late was Davey. Ryan, he kicks it up towards centre wing. 2-on-1 contest, and the ball bounces the wrong way in front of Morrish. And it goes out of bounds. Wasn't Ryan Davey before, because Ryan Davey's just got onto the ground. It was actually Bertrand with the clearing kick there for the Eagles. So the ball gets thrown in. Big pack of players around the football. Fletcher dives in on top of it. The umpire says play on. The umpire's blindsided there. He's a long way from the contest. I'm sure if the doc was umpiring, he wouldn't have been that far away. Bryce has had enough of the football and he started to watch his Facebook videos in the background. Thanks to Cranbourne's Sports Club, the best sports club in Cranbourne, Trios. Check them out at triosportsclub.com.au. There'll be some few drinks there tonight, enjoying the Cranbourne win as the Eagles trying to move the ball up the outer side. The mark was not completed. Cavlot getting some junk time disposals. Now they can build. Here's some run. Fletcher, that's the other variety. He kicks it short to Glenn Osborne. Now Bauer breaks a tackle coming through there to Tanopolis, but just bouncing off him was Bauer. He got the hand pass there to Glenn Osborne. Glenn Osborne lines up and hasn't registered a score. It's still play on. The Doveton defence will try and repel.
So now Doveton are happy to see the ball out of bounds on the full, so they won't be too happy with that.
Straight to a Cranbourne player again.
And it looks like it might be...
Getting frustrated, Jared.
Oh, it's just... I mean, you saw Bauman break 2 easy tackles then. Had a shot. There was no Cranbourne player in there. They could raffle it. They got the ball and then turned it straight over again by foot.
It's such an important occasion for Doveton tonight.
They had to make a statement and they haven't fired a shot.
Hey, that car, one of the cars there that was getting attention from the RACV actually has to be towed out. I thought the tow truck was down there for the Favola squad.
So the shot on goal didn't register a
Someone's
score.
really flashing their lights out there too. Giving a good old flash.
Good flashing.
Oh, there we go. Nearly
Good flashing.
And there's been a free kick paid Doveton's
there's
way.
still footy going on.
In the back pocket, Henwood.
Oh, almost again.
He's going to
hopefully
take...
that truck doesn't get bogged. Maybe I should just start calling the truck. He's reversing. He's going at 90-degree angles. Oh, he's putting it through there, the national truck driver. He's gone hard with the... what's that on the back?
The hazard lights.
What's that on the back? The Hilux. Oh, the tow truck's decided to perch himself right behind Favola. He's going to drive out on the AJ Robinson Reserve. If that crowd there should actually disperse, there's a chance of being run over.
Davey.
Oh, he's done well.
Handball through the middle of the crowd.
He's just corrected it nicely. The driver.
And Cranbourne have worked their way with the football up towards half forward. The umpire's called a free kick. Looks like it's going Sparks' way.
Off he goes.
And he's going to take it from 60 metres out.
Someone's having a pretty ordinary night if your car's going home in the back of the tow truck.
Kick over the top.
Maybe you should go and see Rapatune in Hallam. They'll look after you.
Kick back into Lindsay, who takes the mark uncontested, 55 metres out on a slight angle. Holt's calling for it in the square. Has to double back. Gabriel's gone to man him up.
How many goals have been kicked in this quarter?
None. One.
Oh, thank God. So
when did Davey kick his?
Very early.
Yeah, it was. I think it was about the 3rd or 4th minute mark. As Lindsay from 55 metres out goes with a thumping kick, won't quite carry the distance. Holt tries to crash the pack from behind, couldn't quite make the contest. Ball spills out. Doveton are trying to clear it. Gabriel gets his hands on it, drags the ball to the ground. He's wrapped up by 3 Cranbourne defenders. And the umpire says we'll have a bounce. 23 and a half minutes gone in the final term. Thanks to Trio Sports Club in Cranbourne. Check them out at triosportsclub.com.au for all their latest deals. As the ball gets punched away, going out to meet it there was Roscoe, though. Up against the boundary line. The shot on goal is going to go across the face. Couldn't quite complete the mark. There was Rodriguez. Players are diving for the football. Everyone wants a piece of it in junk time. Getting his hands on it there was
No, the siren's
for
gone. Oh,
Rodriguez
they're still
for
calling
the
for it.
Eagles. Jones has had a shot on goal under immense pressure off the left boot, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
So that was my bad. I thought the sign had gone. All the Cranbourne players had raised their arm, but they're all calling for it.
Aaron Davies, the only goal kicker in this final quarter, boys. Gabriel goes
Straight
long.
back again.
Morris, one of the members of the Cranbourne zone defence, takes the mark on his chest. He squares it up and finds Cavlot. Cavlot goes short, taking the mark there as Gearon. Now, he's got a pretty decent kick on him, Gearon. And we won't make the distance. We're kicking it from 70, but he'll put it up there and hope that Holt will get on to the end of it. So, Gearon does go long. Gabriel's there for Doveton. Up they go. Punch down. Loose ball. Running onto it, though, is the Doveton defender. He gets slung as he's trying to get it out there, Davis. The umpire says play on. Allen goes in. Gets the hand pass there towards Batten. Oh, he's played for the free kick and won it nicely. Lindsay Thomas style. He just dropped his knees when the pressure was coming there from Cavlot. And he's taking the free kick. So Batten, been in the wars today. That's a mongrel punt. Allen was getting held onto by Morris. He nearly had his head ripped off. No free kick was paid. Doc, you're still with us?
I certainly am. I'm watching Fev over here. He's got a few.
Are you
fans.
still watching Fev?
Yeah, watching Fev. He's doing a lot of selfies on the boundary line
I
here.
thought he'd come off. Has he come off the ground?
He has off the
Yeah,
ground. He is
thought
doing.
so.
He's interacting with the crowd.
You're going to get a selfie, Doc?
I'm going to get an interview with Mark Holt.
Can you get us a selfie with Favola for our Facebook page?
As long as you don't photobomb it.
Oh,
Because he's going to rush out of here, the van.
I wouldn't want to spoil your moment, Doc. Like you do mine every time you broadcast.
Boom, boom.
So the final score here, Trent. Someone's calling you. Trent,
What
the
are they
final
calling
score.
you?
I don't want to look at your TAB betting results.
Just trying to pull it up here. Cranbourne have come away with the win. Doveton 5-9-39. Defeated by Cranbourne 12-12-84. That last quarter going for 27 minutes, and it was a pretty disappointing result there by the Doves with their probably biggest, if not second biggest event of the year, maybe behind White Ribbon Round. For Indigenous Round, celebrating the traditional owners of the land out here at AJ Robertson Reserve. But Cranbourne have come away with a win.
Wonder if Holt will shake Hendy's hand.
There might be some few choice words out there between a couple of the boys after what looked like might have been a nasty brawl in the last quarter. As
Doc?
the Doc
You
someone.
there, guys? Yes, I've. Mark Holt's just been generous to give us a couple of seconds away from his celebrations. A great effort tonight, mate. Kicking 5 individually yourself, but the team effort was more important.
Yeah, definitely. Like last 2 weeks, coming off 2 losses, we made it sort of a goal of ours just to get that feeling back, that team-orientated stuff, and yeah, start enjoying the hard work instead of just trying to enjoy the easy stuff. So.
Well, that's what it came down to. Simon was really adamant during the breaks that you go out there and you fight for each other and really work as a team and gel and put all that hard work you've done in the last couple of weeks and put it out on the field.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, we're all great mates, but we just weren't reflecting that on the football field. And so that's why we had a bit of a sit-down, a bit of a lock-in on Saturday night, and the boys got together and we spent a whole lot of time together. And yeah, it's half paid off tonight. We're still a work in progress, obviously. We've got a whole lot of new faces, a whole lot of new boys, but yeah, we're putting it together.
And just one last question, Mark. You were happy with the pressure of the balls tonight?
Yeah, no worries.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Have a good one, bud.
So that was the Doc just having a joke about balls there at the end with Mark Holt. Not a little bit awkward there at all. Doc, you're going to have a chat to Brennan Favola?
I
You live
might.
out your adulthood dream of speaking to the big fans?
I just thought I might actually go and grab Max Gearon. I thought he was one of the best on ground and really lifted tonight. If I can grab him at the back there.
All right. You sound like you're looking for a fish. If I can just find him at the back of the pack, I'll hit him up for an interview. Now, we weren't going to go through to 10 o'clock here. Bryce has a 21st to go to, so he wants to cut the broadcast off as
No,
quickly
go
as...
through till 10 o'clock.
He wants
Go
to
through
cut
till
the
10 o'clock.
broadcast off as quickly as possible. People are still looking for photos. Can you just open that up quickly? I'm not...
You there,
Go,
guys?
sorry,
We've got
go,
Max
Doc.
Gear on here. It was a great win tonight, mate, and a great team effort, and that's what Simon's been asking you to do the last couple of weeks. Really good to get back after a couple of losses.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we've been real down the last. We had that rough patch, the real lows. Like, it wasn't there. The love and the love within each other and the wanting to play the game, it just wasn't there. So I mean, we had the week off and we come back and it's the best feeling. Like training Tuesday, Thursday, and then coming into this, it's just fucking love, and that's what we've been trying to find, because we've lost that the last 2 weeks, as you can see. So now I think we're back, and I think we're back to our best. So
I do think you've got your mojo back. You could see that halfway through the second quarter, where I think they hardly got a possession. But also was the message for you? You were in and under, and now on the outside, the packs and the stoppages doing a really great job tonight.
Yep.
But was there also a message for you to drop into space? I saw you cut off a few got a couple of easy marks there.
Yeah. Simon came up to me before the game and just said, "Look, we got to get back to your 2015 best," which was working hard to the back line and helping the back line down, and then going back and then spreading out forward, and then trying to get forward and trying to kick a sneaky couple of goals. Had one, shanked it, but I think I've just finding it just to work hard again. So I think so I just have to go from there and just keep chipping away. We had the next 2 weeks off, and we'll just keep working on it. So. Yeah.
Fantastic. Really special effort there tonight. Mate, go
Thanks,
enjoy
mate.
the guys and enjoy the celebration.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Max.
Doc, could you fit any more words into that?
That was a Dermot Bruton question. Going nowhere. Oh, he's off again.
Where's Favola?
He might go and try and grab the song by the looks of him.
I know what he's trying to do.
Now, I was a little bit concerned by the fact that we're getting waved by some young fans there, Trent. You knew their names.
No, I only know one of them. Ebony Rich is the daughter of the...
It's raining harder in here than it was at the start of the game, guys. There is water everywhere.
That was really